fast, absurd and very funny is how the Radio Times described our very first guest here tonight. He's featured on Mock the Week, live at the Apollo and Radio 4. Not too shabby at all, eh?
Not too shabby at all. We're, of course, talking about the one and only Milton Jones. He's back with a brand new tour called Ha Milton.
Ha Milton.
Ha Milton. Well, it's not the iconic musical, though, we promise. Here to explain it all, it's Milton himself. Welcome to the 6 o'clock show, Milton Jones. Hello.
Great.
You're very welcome, Milton. How are you? I'm loving the shirt.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's all new material.
And I'm loving the hair, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just for us. Now, Milton, we have to start with the name of your show, Ha Milton. You get it. It's Hamilton, the iconic musical, that is. So are you going to promise us a bit of rapping or maybe some breakdancing in the show?
It's a musical of my life, except there's a twist in that there's no music. Basically, I am 5 years old and I forget the words to Away in a Manger. And I'm Angel A, or as the other children call me, Angela. And fortunately, I have a crib sheet in the manger and I'm able to sing, and it goes through my musical life. It also incorporates topical events like the Russians have infiltrated everything. Even the instructions to my cottage pie last night said Putin microwave.
Oh, God.
Milton, you are the king of one-liners. When did you start doing that particular delivery of jokes?
Well, when I started, I was so scared that I needed to get to the funny bit as soon as possible. So I ended up with just lots of one-liners in a row, and then I got known for that. And, you know, one of my early jokes was, my Auntie Marge has been ill for so long, we've changed her name to I can't believe she's not better.
That's good.
Poor Auntie Marge.
Go on, give us one more. I love these.
I got home from work the other day and my wife was wearing this slinky number, which only really worked when she went downstairs.
I love it. Come here. Obviously, you perform in front of a crowd each and every night, one-liners. Do you get the crowd shouting back one-liners to you?
Yes, sometimes, but there have only been 2 heckles I haven't been able to deal with. And the first one was, what is this?
Well, listen, do you enjoy that? I feel like part of you might like it.
If you've done a show like 50 or 60 times, the bits where the audience chip in are the interesting bits. And another time someone shouted out, these are just words. And I was like, what? Yeah, it's too hard to answer back.
It's quite deep.
Very deep.
Yeah, very deep, existential.
You engage with the audience a lot, don't you, on your shows?
Yeah, for sure. And I like Ireland because people engage before I engage. You know, I come on the stage, people, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? What are you doing afterwards? So I reckon the Irish audiences are some of the best.
Well, now, speaking of the Irish, you worked with our Dara O'Brien. You're synonymous with Mock the Week, and he was, of course, the host. Tell us about working on that show. I mean, it must have been some crack.
Yeah, some crack. It was always, there he is, look. It was always 7 people trying to get through a door for 2. So there was most of what I said on Mock the Week was trying to get a word in. But Dara was a very good host because he does everything. He tells stories. He lets people, you know, he's a referee as well as doing jokes himself. And he's quite gracious at letting new people, you know, get a word in. So he was very good, and I sat next to him. You get the feeling you're sitting next to a great big brain.
Milton, do you feel like a show like that is a great training ground for comedy?
Yeah, for sure. I think if you can survive that, you can survive most things. You know, it's like the scenes at the end. You have to have very sharp elbows to get, you know, down to the front and say what you are going to say while listening to what everyone else is saying. And that's quite difficult to do, especially if it's your first time.
Now, back to Dara O'Brien again, because you and Dara go way back. What's this about the two of you playing soccer together? Tell us that story.
Well, I definitely have played football with him, and he was in goal. And let's just say he's better at comedy than he is in goal. Well, and he did sort of comedy goalkeeping, to be fair. That's always the danger. But yes, no, I've known him for a very long time. I remember doing a gig in Cork with him years and years ago.
And you enjoy that, yeah? It's a good
Oh,
gig.
for sure. No, absolutely. Always good gig in Cork. Yeah, for sure. One of the best.
Now, speaking of football, scenes we like to see is such an iconic part of Mock the Week. And you're talking about training ground and how a show is actually brilliant for training ground as a training ground for comics. How quick do you have to be with those lines? Because some of those lines are, honestly, they're iconic. They've gone viral.
Yeah, absolutely. But what you don't see is, the recording is about 2.5 hours long. And you see 28 minutes of it. So there are lots of lines that don't work, or you get up to the microphone and you forget what you were going to say. It's sort of quite funny, but you see the edited highlights. And what you have to remember as a performer is just think of the edit. Think of the edit. Don't worry about what's happening in the room. But it is very difficult to listen to the other people doing their stuff while you're trying to think of yours as well. So you've just got to be very committed and make it work.
Yeah, that's the beauty of TV, of course. And you mentioned there you can go blank, but as a performer, I mean, you are used to this. You work in front of live audiences all the time. What does one do when you go blank and you have an amazing one-liner and it's gone out of your head? What do you do?
Well, fortunately, my character lends itself to looking sort of blank, and you're best to keep talking and come up with another joke. The best thing is not to go blank halfway through a joke. It's a lot easier if you do one-liners as well, because I have a stupid shirt and the hair up, so I look like I'm going to be difficult to begin with. So normally I say, the more stupid the crowd, the higher the hair has to go.
And your hair goes very high. I have seen your videos online, right? You're wearing a green shirt, of course. You're coming over to the Emerald Isle very soon. You've got a gig in September. Tell us about that, Milton.
Well, yes, I shall be doing a week in Ireland. We'll be going to Dublin, Belfast, Derry, Galway and Cork. Yes, that's right. And very much looking forward to it in the autumn.
And what can audiences expect, actually?
Between 200 and 250 jokes. And
Very specific. And no singing. Thank you so much, Milton Jones. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you can catch Milton in September in Dublin, Cork and Galway. Ticketmaster.ie is where you need to grab your tickets.
All right, up next, two more funny men who are leaving the crack den for the greenery of Dublin's Ivy Gardens. Gemma Clark and Eddie Mularkey are with us in 3. We'll see you in a few.